a nutshell with me, Ina, meron tayong pag-uusapan. Isang commentary that I'd say went viral. At least sa circle ng mga mahilig sumunod sa mga storya related to Canadian immigration. Okay? Ang sabi ng commentary, Canada does not owe international students a pathway to PR. This is from the Globe and Mail. Okay, Canada does not owe international students a path to residency. Okay, welcome Attorney Lou Dangzalan, immigration lawyer. Ang ating suke magbibigay na naman ng kanyang insights tungkol dito sa issue na ito. Okay, I'm sure this also came across your feed. Ano una mong naisip nung lumabas itong article na ito?
Wala namang nagbago and medyo obvious naman siya for me. I suppose baka medyo privileged din in a bubble din ako na alam ko talaga that Canada doesn't really owe, no one is owed PR. It's not a right. Immigration by its very nature is selective and is therefore a privilege. Hindi po siya karapatan, ito po ay isang pribilehyo. So, yung premise niya ay correct, pero siguro, di naman sa natawa, pero parang ano lang ako, napatilt lang siguro yung ulo ko na parang, okay, salamat kasi alam naman natin yan. Pero yung contextualization ng column, interesting kasi yun nga, nasa konteksto siya ng mga international students na nagpo-protesta. I believe, if I understood it correctly.
Well, it is happening right now at the time it was written. So I am assuming it was considered by the writer. Guys, kasi bigyan natin ng konting background lang, guys. Merong isang grupo po ng mga international students sa bandang Calgary, sa bandang Alberta. Dumating pa nga sa punto na sabi nila sila raw ay mag-hunger strike and their videos are viral or on social media. No? Marami po kasi sa kanila na refuse ang kanilang postgraduation work permit and they are saying things like, kumbaga, hindi daw patas, they are seeking fairness, bakit daw yung mga dating kumuha rin ng kurso nila, nakakuha naman ng PGWP, sila hindi, yung mga ganyan. Okay, go ahead, Attorney Lou. Yun yung konteksto, no?
Siguro, alam naman natin na sporadically merong mga nag-e-erupt na mga protests, again, yun lang, babalikan ko yung prinsipyo na si Canada nagbibigay ng permanent residence on the basis of yung selection factors niya. So, while it's not a right, kasi privilege ito, meron ding obligation yung Government of Canada to ensure that things are fair. So, dun siguro tayo pupunta sa minusya, dun sa pagbusisi natin ng mga sitwasyon ng mga nagpo-protesta, dun tayo magkakaalaman kung talaga bang nasagasaan ba sila ng unfairness. Kasi sinasabi nila unfair daw, diba? So, ang tanong ko dito, na-meet nyo ba yung requirements ng programa? Pangalawa, yung isang punto na nakikita din natin is pabago-bago daw yung mga rules, which is totoo naman talaga, nirereklamo din natin yan. Pero pagdating po sa file ng postgraduation work permit eligibility po, ito pong Government of Canada, in fairness to them na lagi kong kinikriticize, ngayon i-defend ko sila, pagdating sa file na to, binibigyan nila ng head start yung announcements. Kumbaga, sinasabi nila way ahead na ganito ang mangyayari. Halimbawa, yung program of study requirements. Months ahead yan, flinote sa mga practitioners. Tapos, flinote din nila yung idea sa press release. Hindi naman nila kaagad-agad in-implement ito. Binigyan ng months. Tapos, meron ding grandfathering considerations. Na halimbawa, kung nag-start ka ng studies mo in 2023 pa, hindi naman papaho sa'yo yung bagong policy, di ba? Yung mga nag-apply ng mga bagong policy na maybe in the process na kayo, yung mga changes sa spousal open work permit. Yun talaga very unfortunate. Pero at the end of the day, hindi naman kayo sinagasaan sa postgrad work permit, di ba? So, yung question dito na, sige, nakakaawa nga talaga na nasasagasaan kayo. Ang question ko rin dito, ginawa nyo ba yung homework din ninyo? Kasi, Diyan tayo nagkakatalo Pagka nagpupunta na sila ng consultation, tapos nakita natin yung refusal, ito at least yung experience ko, nakikita ko na hindi nyo naman pala na-meet yung language requirement. Or even worse, hindi nyo naman pala sinubmit. Although, di ba nagkaroon ng parang issue dyan, di ba napag-usapan din natin na walang slot. So, ang daming mga hindi nagsasubmit kahit na tinake na nila. So, at least naayos na ng IRCC, pero at the same time, yun nga, like parang yung mga requirements na 'to matagal na nakalatag, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Parang hindi ko makita kung ano yung pinuputok nila bukod dun sa fact na talagang mas mahirap na talaga mag-PR.
Right, oo. But I think, no, itong issue rin na 'to, beyond the recent protests, ang tagal na rin parang may discussion dito. And you're right,
Yeah.
ano, parang you should already know that nobody is ever guaranteed PR. Kaya yung sabi mo, nung nakita mo parang, yeah, thank you for reminding everybody kasi yun naman talaga yung
Mm.
case. But the fact that this type of, article
Mhm.
is being published, continues to be published, implies siguro din that there still is a misconception about it.
Oh,
No?
absolutely.
Saan ba nanggagaling
Absolutely.
palagay mo yung misconception? Bakit yung iba? Okay, for example, no,
All of the above,
nakakita,
Ina.
yeah, go ahead, sige, Attorney Liu. Where do you think does the misconception starts?
It's all of the above.
Hmm.
Yung article itself blames colleges, errant consultants, or education agents, even the government of Canada. Kasi aminin natin, even the government actually promoted international studies as a pathway to gaining permanent residence in Canada. Although mixed messaging siya kasi you have to understand when Canada promotes abroad, dalawang functions yan. Meron isa, yung immigration mismo. Bira sila mag-promote. Pangalawa, meron yung Global Affairs Canada, which is yung Foreign Affairs Ministry ng Canada. So, sa ugnayang panlabas ng Canada, pinopromote nila ang education in Canada as a means to advance. And yun nga, may mga siguro marketing team members siguro na naisip na, oh sige magandang i-promote na pwede ito. Nakita ko na siya, matagal
Mm.
na. Matagal nang ginagawa to ng Global Affairs. So you have to understand that sometimes these departments don't really talk to each other. So nagkakaroon ng ano yung tawag dito, expectation, 'di ba? Kaya nga in law, meron din tayong tinatawag na doctrine of legitimate expectation, na lehitimo ba na magkaroon ng expectation nitong si Ina na shopping for studies in Canada or anywhere else na magkakaroon siya ng PR. Eh kung minarket sa'yo, Ina Andolong, ng Government of Canada through Global Affairs sa Edu Canada Fair in Manila na
Mm.
hosted ng embassy, di ka ba naman maniniwala na magkaka-PR ka, 'di ba?
Right.
So, yung mga gano'n, 'di ba, yung responsible marketing, meron din kasalanan ng Government of Canada. Pero ang tingin ko dito, to be fair din to the Government of Canada, yung lion's share talaga ng expectation ng mga tao na merong ino-owe itong Canada, na wala naman talaga, alam natin 'yan, is yung marketing. Whether it's coming from education agents, from the colleges, or from consultants, or whoever. 'Di ba? Tatapatin kita, nung early part ng practice ko, ang daming lumapit sa akin ng mga consultants, or not consultants actually, mga ghost consultants actually,
Mm.
mga unlicensed from the Philippines, from the Middle East. Sabi nila, "Attorney, partner tayo. Bibigyan kita ng mga maraming kliyente tapos ikaw magpa-process ng ano." Yung sinasabi ko sa'yo
Oh,
noon na oo, ang daming malapit sa'kin nun.
oh,
Yung
wow.
yung sinasabi ko sa'yo na yung ma-market nila, kukunin nila yung student, tapos sasabihin nila, "Eh, paano pagdating ng Canada? Huwag kayong mag-alala, ipapasa namin kayo sa
Yeah,
consultant."
ikaw yung nakasulat sa papel, no?
Oo,
Oo.
gusto nilang makipag-partner supposedly. And sa'kin, like, okay, maganda siyang idea kasi puwede siyang maging parang naka-vertical alignment na yung PR processing, yung planning. Pero kasi ang problema diyan, paano kung yung kandidato hindi naman akma to the PR programs na available to Canada, na mataas yung risk? Kasi at this time kasi, mina-market pa rin yung Canada as an education destination. Pero kasi because it's coming from the perspective of making an education or college sale, 'di
Right.
ba? Hindi yung PR yung nauna. Kasi the way you should work about this, and napag-usapan na rin natin 'to in multiple occasions, and hanggang ngayon sinasabi ko pa rin, that if your objective is permanent residence, you work from your target and then backwards. Because sometimes, even studying might not be your best option. Huwag
Right.
kayong mag-default sa education because ito yung mina-market, ito yung uso. Hindi porket uso, ito yung mangyayari, 'di ba? Ito yung winning strategy. Yun lang naman.
Oh. Oh, no, I couldn't agree more, no. I think yung government marketing number one, no, it could have been better.
Oh, yes.
Kasi totoo dati meron talagang mga ads na study, work, and live in
Naka
Canada. Okay.
naka-attend nga ako niyan nun
Sasabihin
pa,
nung
eh.
iba, dapat matalino ka, alam mo na may eligibility requirements yan. Oo na nga.
Mm,
Pero ganun pa rin nila mina-market, no? Talagang
yes.
maiengganyo yung mga tao na, uy,
Eto
itong
ka,
path na to, pwede ako maging PR talaga dyan, sure.
yes. Alam mo
No?
ba yung
Oh,
pinakaunang education fair na na-attendan ko ng Canada,
oh,
ito mga 2005 pa ata 'to. Nasa Manila pa ako
oo,
nun, 'di ba? So ibig sabihin matagal nang mina-market ang
correct.
education in Canada, which is
Oh,
not wrong. Pero
right.
kasi kapagka sinabi mo, nag-create ka ng expectation coming from a person who works at government na sinasabi na, "Oh, ito yung magandang pathway for permanent residence." Teka, ingat tayo, 'di ba, kapagka gano'n.
Oo,
Kasi
correct.
saan ba nanggagaling yan? Global affairs, immigration mismo, 'di ba? So parang, yeah,
Oo,
could
buti
have
na lang
been
hindi mo
better.
buti na lang hindi mo kinuha yung mga nag-aalok sa'yo, Attorney Lee. Kasi I think diyan nag-uumpisa yung problema din. Ito naman 'no, yung
Yes.
isa pang dapat sisihin, yung mga taong alok lang ng alok ng
Hmm,
mga programa dito sa Canada. Hindi mo alam anong puwede nilang sabihin dun sa mga nire-recruit nila, Attorney Lou, and you're all the way,
yeah,
let's say, in Canada, and then they're
yeah,
like in Manila telling people,
yeah.
"Hindi, alam mo ba, sure yan. Gawin mo lang
I
'to, ABC. Okay na
yeah,
yan, magiging PR cover." Yung mga gano'n.
yeah.
And that is, I think, what exactly happened, especially in one country, no? Yung marketing ng mga consultants in other
To be
areas.
fair, nangyari rin siya sa Pilipinas, Ina.
Yeah,
To
ay
be
naku,
fair.
ayun na nga 'no? Ngayon
Although not to the
oh,
same, not to the same intensity
yeah.
to the country you're referring to,
Right,
but it
right,
happened.
right. Correct. And ngayon, nandito na 'tong mga ibang tao na umasa, 'no,
Mm.
Attorney Lou. What do you think about some people, ito naman nakikita ko yung ibang comments na, after spending stories 'no, after spending tens of thousands of dollars in Canada, hindi sila ma-PR. Yung mga
Mm,
ganyan, yung parang it's as if because
mm.
you shelled out a lot of
Budol,
money.
budol, in
Oo,
other
dapat
words.
dapat merong chance ma-PR. What do you
Well,
think about that?
so gawin natin 'to na parang angel investor ka or ano ba yung palabas ng Canada na kinopya sa US or inadopt sa US, yung sa Canada is Dragon's Den, tapos sa US yung Shark Tank. I'm not sure if familiar ka, but I'm
Mhm.
sure some of,
Yeah,
your
Shark Tank.
viewers will be familiar with it. So, basically people will come in ta's they will make a pitch to angel investors para mag-invest sa business nila, 'di ba? So, isipin mo ikaw yung international student na nakaupo dun sa panel na mag-i-invest, 'di ba? Mag-i-invest ba ako diyan? So, basically dun sa presentation magtatanong ka, makikinig ka dun sa presentation, ano ba yung binibigay, tapos as a potential investor, pera mo yun, pinaghirapan mo yun, tatanungin mo, ano yung mga ins and outs na 'to? 'Di ba? Ang tanong ko dito sa mga nagrereklamo na 'to, which is, you have the right to complain, I agree. Did you do your homework?
Mhm.
Or did you just believe gospel truth yung sinabi sa inyo ng marketing person?
Right.
Dalawa kasi yan, eh. The first point is, during my consultations, even way before when I started and, I would market, Canada but responsibly. Kasi siyempre may mga interested, how do I get to Canada? Well, you assess them for the immigration programs, but you always, start with the programs na diretso, straight to PR, 'di ba? Tapos after that, you consider other routes, like maybe puwedeng pumasok as worker or maybe at, o baka gustong mag-aral. 'Di ba?
Mhm.
We broach that conversation responsibly. So yun yung first line. Pangalawang linya dito is ni-research niyo ba, 'di ba? So
Mhm.
parang kasi kung hindi niyo ni-research ito ta's hindi kayo nagtanong ng mga questions ninyo as a potential investor, ta's nalugi yung business ninyo, parang ang tawag dito is due diligence, 'di ba?
Mhm.
Kung hindi niyo ni-research yun, halimbawa nag-invest ka sa isang business or sa stock market, 'di ba? Ta's hindi mo naman alam na itong stock na 'to, patapon na pala, 'di ba? Kasi hindi maganda yung fundamentals ng company. 'Di ba kapagka bibili ka ng stocks, gusto mo muna i-Google yung company, tignan niyo yung history, tignan niyo yung prospectus kapagka may IPO sila or di kaya alam mo, sabihin na natin as basic as for example, ano ba 'tong ano na 'to, insurance product na 'to? Ano ba yung
Mhm.
return niya, 'di ba? Binubusisi niyo ba 'yan or kinuha niyo lang ba yung gospel truth as was told to you by the marketing person? So
Right.
parang from the perspective of getting my sympathy, parang hindi ko maibibigay yung sympathy ko masyado. I mean, it's hard kasi it's your hard-earned money, but at the same time, we're all adults, 'di ba?
Right. Oo. Pero ano 'no, yung isang ina-argue, ng ilang ding immigration practitioners that I see
Mm.
commenting on this article online is that, oo, tama naman ano, Canada does not owe anybody PR, but it
Mhm.
owes temporary residents, for example, fairness.
Mm.
Yung changing policy, Attorney Luno, is that fair? Tsaka I think let's clarify itong changing policies and how it affects
Mm.
temporary residents. Kasi
Mhm.
meron ako nakikitang ilan na parang sinasabi nila pagdating nila dito, they were under the impression, for example, etong mga nagpoprotesta by the way,
Mhm. Mhm.
they were
Mhm.
supposedly under the impression na yung courses nila ay magka-qualify sa kanila makakuha ng PGWP. And then middle daw ng
Mhm.
habang tinitake nila yung course, ngayon pag-graduate na sila, biglang hindi daw sila PGWP
Hmm.
eligible. Totoo ba yun? Is that fair if it is true, no? O baka may kulang
Parang
ba sa storya nila?
parang kulang yung story. I really
Okay.
wanna understand the case specifically one by one.
Mm.
And simulan natin na sasabihin ko, I agree with those immigration consultants and those immigration lawyers. And in fact, one of them I know, si Raj Sharma. He did tweet about, like, fairness. Everyone is owed fairness, regardless of status in Canada. Meron tayong procedural fairness, merong, legitimate expectations, yung doctrine of legitimate expectations. Although medyo
Mm.
weak yung argument na yun, to be fair, but definitely fairness is owed to everyone. Ako yung mauunang lalaban for fairness. So yung hypothetical na sinasabi mo, or what is claimed na in the middle of the process nagbago yung policy. Totoo, nagbago yung policy
Mm.
in the middle, but most people for PGWP eligibility grandfathered in. So
Okay.
if you look at the particulars of the rules, it will say na if you started your program of study at X date, these are the rules. Or if it's Y date, those are the rules. Dito tayo papasok sa particularities. Dun sa question ng PGWP eligibility, nag-shift ka ba ng course? For
Yeah.
example. Kasi if you shifted your course, for example, bibigay lang ako ng isang hypothetical din na.
Mm-mm.
If you change your course, it's as if you reset the board. Tapos yung pinili mo, hindi pala eligible.
Right.
'Di ba? Tapos,
Mm.
nagka-problema. Yun. So, yun, yung mga situation na ganun, nagkakaroon ng mga nuance na
Mm.
talagang hindi ka talaga magiging eligible for PGWP. So,
Right.
that's number one. Number two, possible hypothetical here. Ito yung very common, I suspect, is, for example, Ina, as an international student, brought her husband to Canada as a spousal open work permit. Ina's program of study, 2 years, let's say healthcare,
Mm.
nurse, ano yung tawag dito? RPN, registered practical nurse, di ba? Tapos si husband naka-SOWP. So sabi dito, PGWP eligibility must meet the program of study requirement. So nagbago yung program habang nag-aaral ka, year 2 mo.
Mm.
Tinanggal yung RPN, kunwari. Eligible ka pa rin ba for the PGWP? The probable answer is yes, because you started your program before the policy change. The question then, separate program, siloed differently, is the spousal open work permit. This is the C41 open work permit, LMIA exemption. Itong mga changes on the C41, spousal open work permit, and C42, spousal open work permit for international students, yung mga changes na ginawa ng IRCC biglaan. Hindi kagaya sa PGWP
I see.
eligibility. Kasi dalawa yan eh. Dalawang track yan.
Yeah.
International students for PGWP, pangalawang track, spousal.
Yeah.
Hindi siya absolute right. It is a privilege to bring your spouse or your common
Correct.
law partner to Canada.
Right.
Even PR for international students, it's not a right. It's also a privilege. But they were careful enough because they talked to the stakeholders. I know because I was there.
Oh, okay.
They asked for the comments from the practitioners, and we made submissions as a bar sa SILA when I was VP for policy. We
Mm.
made submissions na grandfather dapat ito mga students na to na nag-start as international
Yeah.
students. You have to factor that in. So, ang complicated, di ba? But,
Oh,
they're grandfathered in. Yung C41, C42 spousal open
spousal.
work permits, ibang usapan yan. Mm.
Right, oo. Mas mahirap din, eh, 'no, parang
Yeah.
yung sa spousal, it's a totally different argument. Okey,
So
kasi
yeah,
kumbaga
so
sabit sila, eh, 'di ba? Oo, sabit din
exactly.
sila, eh.
I think ultimately it boils down to the kind of strategic planning that you did for your PR
Right.
application or pathway. Tagalogin ko, bale pupunta tayo kung strategic ba ang inyong pagplano ng PR ninyo. Ngayon, kung yung ano ninyo, representante ninyo, tamad, binigyan lang kayo ng isang pathway, abay matakot kayo. Kasi
Right,
pwedeng magbago ang mga programa at pag nagbago ang programa at wala kayong plan B, plan C, plan D, saan kayo pupulutin? Sa
right.
kangkungan, 'di ba? 'Yun yung problema.
Oh, and not to mention, 'di ba maraming mga criticisms din talaga dito sa International Student Program being used as a PR pathway, 'di ba? Kasi nito na lang siya naging uso, eh, right? Oo.
I agree and I have some thoughts on that. Like, una sa lahat sasabihin ko na parang, fair game 'yan, eh, niligay niyo 'yan diyan, eh. Choice niyo 'yan, Canada as a government to actually open that up for possibilities. Canada since learned, kita natin 'to sa mga express entry reforms, 'di ba, na
Mhm.
pino-propose nila na magki-kick in towards the end of this year. 'Yun nga yung sabi ng IRCC na iko-collapse yung CEC with FSW, 'di ba, yung Canadian
Mhm.
Experience Class. Education in Canada is not gonna be given as much weight as before. For
Yeah.
example, it's going to be about work experience, 'di ba?
Right.
And potentially even wages. Nakita natin siya na yung OINP dun patungo, 'di ba? I think napag-usapan niyo 'to ni Dayanara dun sa scoring
Mhm.
system. Hindi ko pa napapanood,
Right.
sorry. But yes, so yeah, like eto ngang mga pagbabago na 'to nakikita na natin na kasi nga wina-warn na yung IRCC noon pa. Nung inintroduce yung express entry nung 2014, came into effect 2015, sinabi na as early as 2017, 2018 by the likes of people like Mark Holthe na
Okay.
meron down the line magkakaroon ng pagbulusok ng points na nakita natin sometime in 2019, 2020. Medyo na-arrest lang siya ng konti noong 2020 because of the pandemic. Pero
Oo.
tumaas talaga yung points kasi nga arms race yan, eh. Ang daming mga nagsimula ng pag-aaral in Canada in 2014, 15, 16
Mhm.
na natapos, so tumaas ang mga puntos nila, 'di ba?
Right, oo.
So, you know, if you practice immigration law but you still have an eye for policy, you can kind of strategically see things 10 years down the road. I mean, obviously you're not going to have like the perfect picture. Parang weather forecast yan, 'di ba? Yung weather forecast for tomorrow is most likely very accurate versus yung weather forecast 10 days from now. 'Di ba? Kasi
Right.
pwede pa magbago, 'di ba? So,
Oo.
pero just the same, the forecasters can say na ito yung pattern. Very likely in 10 years, ito yung itsura niya. Pero keep looking at the announcements, 'di ba?
Right, oo. Okay, o sige. In closing na lang, Attorney Lou, etong mga nagpoprotesta na ito, what do you think about this? Ano bang may
I
mapapala
sup
ba ang mga international students if they protest these issues?
I support their right to freedom of expression. Um, question mo is may
May
mapapala ba
magbabago ba?
sila? I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
think so. Canada's really decided and made up their mind.
Mhm.
Hunger strike, they can do it. It's totally their right.
Mhm.
The sad reality is because of the abuses of bad actors in the system, from top to bottom, from the government of Canada down to the individual. Syempre, nadaanan din natin lahat ng representatives, whether they're lawyers, consultants, education agents, coast consultants, colleges, DLIs, we know na pag-usapan yan, di ba? Lahat may kasalanan. Ang question dito, ano yung public mood? The public mood is still unsupportive of bad immigration policy. Most Canadians are not anti-immigration. Most Canadians are anti-bad immigration policy.
I
Yun yung
like
lumabas dun sa, yun yung lumabas sa survey. 'Di
right.
ba? May generational souring of attitudes towards immigration, but not towards immigrants. It's
Right.
about the policy. It's gonna take a
Aha.
while for Canadians to turn that around again.
Oo. Eto pala, sorry, eto na talaga yung totoong last. Sa
Okay.
mga kababayan natin, for example, who are, hindi nila nakuha yung kanilang PR dream.
Mm.
Okay? And then
Mhm.
now, they will have to go back to the
Mhm.
Philippines. Ano ang
Mhm.
message na sinasabi mo sa mga ito when siguro pumapasok sa isip nila, they wasted their years in Canada daw. I don't think it's a waste if they secured a course, a program, or they finished, they got a new degree, right? Anong sinasabi mo sa mga yan?
Um, well, I was actually interviewed by Nicholas Kong at some point on the on the question of uh, people who are running out of runway dun sa kanilang postgrad work permit. Uh, there was a line there that I said, retreat is not a defeat.
Mm-hmm.
And then may isang other lawyer, si Catherine Sass, who quoted me in an article that she wrote for the New Immigrant newsletter. Anyway, that's the point. Retreat is not a defeat. Like,
Yeah.
meron pang potential strategies. I-echo ko si Geraldine, who you just interviewed a few
Oh, hi,
days
Miss
ago.
G. Oh.
Hi, Miss G. That basically, you can still plan. Don't lose hope. Maaaring maubos yung PGWP mo, pero baka kailangan may strategic retreat kayo. Consult with the lawyers who are in the know, consultants who are in the know about potential programs for you. One of the things that you broached in that conversation was French, diba?
Mm-hmm.
So alam natin that French, from a strategic vantage point, will not disappear, at least in the next 5 years. It's still gonna be
Oh,
there, right?
right.
So, you know, uh, take it for what it is. That's what it is, right? Like, ito yung last point ko dito, is that sometimes these opportunities will dry up. And someone who actually had to hit the hard reset button in Canada, and madami tayo.
Mm-hmm.
One of the critical things that I learned when I was in Canada, kasi nung una ayaw nila tanggapin na, alam mo yun, graduate ako from here, meron akong work experience from there, but because I don't have Canadian work experience, it was very difficult. Pero naman talaga. What I did was, you know what? I'll make my own opportunities. I will beat you in your own game. So,
Right.
inaral ko yung sistema. Paano ko ba sila tatalunin sa sarili nilang game?
Right.
Hindi naman ako masyado nagbubuhat ng bangko, pero I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
So,
naman. Ano ba? Okay. Well, we'll end this on that point. Thank you so much, Attorney Luno. Ako lang, no,
don't
even if they
don't
don't
lose
think,
hope.
yeah, and even if things don't work out here in Canada, it doesn't mean that you will not be successful possibly elsewhere. Di ba? Ang daming bansa sa mundo na pwede mong gamitin yung iyong naging Canadian experience, right? Okay, yun lang naman. Oh, bye everybody. I look forward to reading your comments. Be respectful in the comment section, guys, ha? Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Attorney
Empathy,
Lou.
guys. Empathy, empathy.
Thank you, Attorney Lou. Yung email po ni Attorney Lou, yung nandyan po sa baba if you wanna get in touch with him. Okay, bye everybody!